Now, we have all, including myself, grown up in eastern Kentucky coal country, where coal is the only source of energy we've ever known. And whether we like it or not, we must eventually turn to something else. We've took it upon ourselves to find an alternate, but most importantly, clean source of energy. We've tried hydrogen and a few other sources of alternate energy, but now we've discovered microbial fuel cells to turn common topsoil into clean energy.
In the mud, there are millions of microbes that, if we utilize correctly, we can create a substantial amount of voltage. This works through millions of microbes that is in the mud, and it creates electrons that attach to the anode and the cathode. The anode and the cathode are created of graphite disc, and the first layer is 1.5 inches of mud with the anode compressed on top, and the second layer is 3.5 inches of mud laid with the cathode on top. And the cathode and the anode are connected to the mud-watt hacker board by 2 different wires.
The mud-watt hacker board that Tyan mentioned is a piece of mud-watt technology. Mud-watt is a company that specializes in microbial fuel cells. The board regulates the voltage and makes it applicable to everyday items. And in the near future, we will study and research the technology in order to replicate it for our own use. We should achieve this by the first half of our second semester.
Okay, since we haven't officially started this project, our preliminary data is limited right now, but the maximum amount of voltage that we have received is 0.56 volts. This may seem little right now, but we have only scratched the surface. In the future, we plan on using different types of soil, also with different solutions mixed in.
Since we're only getting 0.56 volts, our next step is to buy, replicate a voltage amplifier. This is vital for the progression of our project, and this will make it possible to utilize this fuel cell for the betterment of our community. We plan to use this multiple microbial fuel cell connected in series to successfully power small household items such as fans, TVs, computers, etc. If we continue to work on this technology in the future, our hope is to power bigger and better things such as homes or possibly even cars. We all know that growing up in coal country can sometimes be hard when coal isn't being used. If we substitute mud in for coal and use it for energy, more people around the world will have more jobs.
Any questions? Doc. Well, Dr. Chandran or Haridas.
Last year, we were all also in the STEAM lab, and my project was to come up with different forms of alternate energy. So this was on our list, we just never got to it. As I mentioned, we did hydrogen gas and several other things. So this year, what we wanted to do was really focus on trying to find a way to turn mud and topsoil that has these microbes in it to energy, because a whole lot of people haven't done it so far. That one company, Mudwatt, that I mentioned, and that's been about it. So we want to kind of venture into that area. Any other questions?